There's finally some good news coming out of Baltimore. And this time, it's the kind that can completely change the mood inside that locker room. After weeks of tension, injuries, and painful losses, the bye week has arrived, and it couldn't have come at a better time. This break gives the Ravens a real shot to turn things around. And the best part? There are plenty of reasons to believe this team could come back different, stronger, and yes, with Lamar Jackson back on the field. But that's not all. The defense has started to wake up, the locker room feels more united, and John Harbaugh is convinced this group still has a chance to make history. So hang tight, because what's happening right now could completely change the way you see the rest of Baltimore's season. John Harbaugh isn't the kind of coach who gives up when things get ugly. Even with the Ravens sitting at a rough 1-5, he spoke with the confidence of a man who still believes in a miracle. It's a nearly impossible spot. Only 4 teams in NFL history have made the playoffs after a start like this, but Harbaugh believes his team can be the 5th. His message was simple. Keep moving forward, leave the past behind, and rebuild this thing with heart and belief, not numbers or odds. That attitude says everything about who he is. Harbaugh has never been just a play caller. He's a motivator, a leader who looks his players in the eye and dares them to believe when everyone else counts them out. And that's exactly the kind of energy Baltimore needs right now. After that 17-3 loss to the Rams, his post-game comments didn't sound like excuses. They sounded like a challenge. We still have 11 games. We still have a chance. And honestly, he might be onto something. As bad as the record looks, this team has shown flashes of what it can be. There's a sense that if they can just get everyone healthy, especially Lamar, they might still have a run left in them. Harbaugh clearly believes it, and that belief has become the emotional fuel inside the locker room this week. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time. It's the reset button this team desperately needed, a chance to breathe, heal, and refocus before it's too late. Harbaugh knows the odds are stacked against him, but if there's one thing the NFL loves, it's a comeback story. And maybe, just maybe, this is Baltimore's chance to write theirs. And while Harbaugh holds on to that hope, there's one area that finally started showing real life again. The defense, which just a week ago looked completely lost. After getting embarrassed 44-10 by the Texans, Baltimore's defense badly needed to respond. And they did, against the Rams. That unit came out with fire, discipline, and intensity, holding LA to just 241 total yards, their lowest output of the season. It was a kind of performance that showed there's still heart beating inside this team. John Jenkins was a standout, finishing with a sack, a forced fumble, and a recovery, playing like a man on a mission. Getting key players back made a massive difference, too. Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton returned from injury and instantly elevated the secondary. Communication was sharper, coverage was tighter, and, maybe most importantly, confidence was back. A week after looking totally out of sync against Houston, that group proved it can still carry the load while the offense finds its footing again. What made that performance special wasn't just the stats. It was the timing. This team needed to show signs of life, and they did. The defense had been ripped for lack of effort and execution, but this time, the adjustments worked. Harbaugh praised their fight and the way they responded after a tough, demanding week of practice. It was a reminder that when healthy, this defense still has the talent to slow down anyone in the league. There are still flaws, of course, and the 17-3 loss shows just how small the margin for error is. But if the defense keeps trending upward, Baltimore has reason to believe again. The real challenge now lies on the other side of the ball, where the offense has completely fallen apart without Lamar Jackson. Since Lamar went down, the Ravens' offenses look completely lost. When he was playing, this team was electric, creative, confident, and nearly unstoppable. They led the league in touchdown passes and averaged over 32 points per game. Without him, they managed a total of just 13 points in 2 weeks. That kind of drop-off says everything about how much this team depends on its 2-time MVP. Nobody else has been able to bring that same rhythm, confidence, or chaos that Lamar creates every time he touches the ball. Cooper Rush took over for the last 2 games, and to be honest, nothing worked. For interceptions, 0 touchdowns, and a constant struggle to move the ball. He tried to follow the script, but the offense felt predictable and flat. Short passes, obvious runs, defenses saw it coming every time. The difference with and without Lamar couldn't be clearer. With him, the Ravens have identity, swagger, and direction. Without him, it's like the whole thing loses its soul. Players hesitate, play calling slows down, and even the offensive line looks unsure. Harbaugh knows nothing truly changes until number 8 is back, which is why everything now revolves around getting him healthy again. And that brings us to the hope keeping this team together. The growing belief that Lamar Jackson will finally return after the bye.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
John Harbaugh made it crystal clear he's mentally and spiritually leaning on Lamar Jackson being back after the bye. He even joked about it during his press conference, but you could tell he wasn't really kidding. The truth is, the Ravens need Lamar back. Harbaugh said he's psychologically depending on seeing him out there against the Bears on October 26th, and that honesty says it all. This team's emotional balance depends on number 8. Lamar's impact goes way beyond stats. He changes the energy in the building. He brings belief, confidence, and a spark that spreads to everyone else. When he's healthy, the whole team plays looser and faster. Harbaugh knows that, and that's why he talks about Lamar's recovery almost like it's a matter of faith. He has to believe his quarterback is coming back, because that belief is what's keeping the team's fire alive. The good news? It really sounds like he's close. Reports say Lamar's hamstring is healing well, and he's already ramped up his workload during the bye. If he's ready to go against Chicago, Baltimore won't just be getting its leader back. They'll be getting their identity back, too. This team has a pulse again, and Lamar is a heartbeat. But while everyone waits for his return, there's still one question hanging over the roster. Who should actually be the backup behind Lamar? Cooper Rush or Tyler Huntley? The battle between Cooper Rush and Tyler Huntley is still wide open, and Harbaugh hasn't committed to either one. Officially, Rush is still listed as a number 2 quarterback, but his recent performances have been rough. No touchdown for picks and little sign of command. Harbaugh tried to back him publicly, but it's clear patience is running thin. Late in the Rams game, down 17-3, Harbaugh decided to give Huntley a shot. And while it didn't change the final score, the energy on offense definitely felt different. Huntley completed 10 of 15 passes, ran for nearly 40 yards, and brought some of that mobility the offense had been missing. But even he wasn't immune to problems, taking 4 sacks behind a struggling line. It's obvious the whole offense needs work, not just the QB position. Harbaugh tried to keep things balanced, saying the team has 2 backup quarterbacks and will keep evaluating. That was a polite way of saying nothing settled. The truth is, neither one has shown they can carry the load if Lamar has to miss more time, and that makes his return even more crucial. So now, the Ravens face a massive challenge and an opportunity. Use the bye week to regroup, get Lamar healthy, and reset the season before it's too late. Because if he comes back looking like his old self, Baltimore might still have a shot to pull off one of the most unlikely turnarounds the NFL has seen in years. The Ravens hit their bye week battered, but far from broken. Harbaugh's words have reignited something inside that locker room, and for the first time in weeks, there's real hope again. The defense showed life, the roster's starting to heal, and everything now revolves around one man, Lamar Jackson. If he comes back ready, the season could flip fast. The only question is, does this group have the strength to pull off what only 4 teams in NFL history have ever done? Make the playoffs after starting 1-5? Time will tell. But one thing's certain. If Baltimore finds its rhythm again, no one will want to face this team come December.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.